This is the third video in our series on Windows 365 license optimizations. So far in video 1 and 2, we talked about the first two license optimization strategies. The first one being automatic license assignment to only those users that actually log into a desktop and need a license, not to everyone, since a large percentage of the total users will never actually use their cloud PC. And the second optimization we talked about are users who were once active but no longer are active on their cloud PC, and therefore their license can be reclaimed with the unused license reclamation feature. In today's video, we're going to talk about inactive user license parking. So let's talk about this feature in a bit more detail. So if you think about a user behavior on a cloud PC, they're typically logged in, let's say 6, 8, maybe 10 hours per day. So let's say 30 to 50 or 60 hours in a week. And the rest of the time, that user is not actually logged in and using and connected to their cloud PC. So the concept behind inactive user parking is that you can have a less expensive, what we call a parking license, than the user's primary license. So in our example here, our user license is a two-core, 8 gigabyte of RAM, 128 gigabyte of storage PC, which costs $41. And that is the PC that they need while they're connected to it. But when they're not connected to it, they could be parked with a cheaper, less expensive cloud PC license because they're not really connected to that machine and they're not using it. So it doesn't matter what license is assigned to them at that time. And this could be anything from a single core 2 gig of RAM license, which costs $20, or it could be any other license as long as it's smaller and cheaper than the user's primary license. So in my demo environment, I've created a security group called Parking Cloud PC Users Group. It has a lower license assigned to it. So it has a 2-core, 4 gigs of RAM that only costs $31 rather than $41. But like I said, it's just because that's what I happen to have in my demo environment. This could also be a single core 2 gig of RAM VM license size, which would be only $20 per user per month. And what will happen is the system, Nerdio Manager, will monitor user activity. And as soon as it detects that the user is no longer connected to their cloud PC, it will remove them from the licensed cloud PC users group and move them into the parking cloud PC users group. This group will cause a different license to be assigned to that user, and their original license will be freed up and could be used by another user who may currently be active on their desktop. And what will happen when the user logs back into their cloud PC, so when they log into the cloud PC, the system will automatically move them back from the parking group up into the licensed group, and the license reassignment will again take place. So a connected user will be using a parked license, and a connected user will be using a full license right here, and an inactive or disconnected user is going to be using a cheaper parking license. Now, a couple notifications here as well. If there are insufficient licenses, we want to be notified. So if, for example, there are not sufficient number of parking licenses, we want to know about that. And also we can be notified when there are too many parking licenses. So maybe the number of active users has gone down and we have a certain number of parking licenses that are no longer being used. So we can say notify daily when 10% of licenses are unused, or you can say when a certain number of licenses, like 15, are unused. And if it exceeds this threshold, then the administrator will get an email notification as well as an in-app notification that there are licenses that are unused and can be removed and returned and canceled to save on costs. And then finally, there is a setting here that will automatically reset the grace period. So when the user is moved from the licensed group into the parking group, and this new license is assigned to them, their full-size PC goes into the grace period for 7 days. And if they log in anytime within those 7 days, then they get the original license again, and the grace period resets back. But if for whatever reason they may be on vacation, then the system can sort of take care of that license reassignment automatically. And in this case, we're going to specify how many days remaining on the grace period must be reached before that grace period is reset by reassigning a user that full license to get them back into a license state with that license. So now we've reviewed the 3 license optimizations for Windows 365. Automatic assignment that only gives licenses to users that actually use them. The unused license reclamation that removes licenses from users who've used it in the past but no longer are using. And also parking inactive or non-connected users into a cheaper license, all causing lots of savings and fewer licenses that are necessary, and fewer inexpensive or fewer expensive licenses and more inexpensive licenses that can be used in a Windows 365 Cloud PC deployment, resulting in savings up to 50% of just a standard unoptimized environment where every user gets a full-size Cloud PC license. I hope you found this useful, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos.